What's up, meta nerds? This video is all about the Anodyne. This was a decommissioned Nebulon-C escort frigate that the Resistance discovered in a salvage yard, and after undergoing extensive modifications, the Anodyne was converted into a massive hospital ship. Though it had many of its armament stripped away, it still retained several turbo lasers, point defense cannons, and even some tractor beams. And these large outrigger sections could be expanded upon with additional modules, increasing the overall volume of this ship. The Nebulon-C was an upgrade on the Nebulon-B, which was used by the Rebel Alliance during the Galactic Civil War, but it was originally built for the Imperial Navy. After the Galactic Concordance and the New Republic's rise to the position of the Galactic Government, Kuat Drive Yard started to manufacture these Nebulon-Cs, and some forces in the New Republic that sympathized with the Resistance made sure that some of these decommissioned models, or ones that were sent to salvage yards, ended up falling into the hands of the New Republic. At 549 meters, or 1,802 feet, it was more than half the length of a Victory-class Star Destroyer, and was more than 1.5 times the length of the Nebulon-B frigate. At 195 meters, or 640 feet wide, it was nearly 5 sandcrawlers across, and with a height of 322 meters, or 1,057 feet, it was as tall as 72 Thalasirens. But let's go ahead and take a look inside of the ship to see where everything was and how it all worked. Up front, we see the command bridge, which has a really neat feature that it can be ejected away from the vessel in the case of an emergency. The first pylon that sticks out was actually a specialized docking boom, allowing all kinds of different vehicles to be able to connect to this hospital frigate. Working our way down, we see the navigation and targeting sensor spine, along with a large blister array of other forward sensors. The main reactor was located at the back of the ship, but an auxiliary power generator was located at the bottom of this front section, which was very important for making sure that the surgery suite, which was located here, as well as the laboratory and recovery wards, which were located right above it, could be receiving power even if the rear of this ship was attacked. If we look really close, we can see large Bacta tanks, and we see this large waste recycling complex located right below the forward turbo laser cannon. Situated in between the surgery suite and the recovery wards is where the morgue was located. We see that intensive care units are located in this main section, and the living quarters for the doctors and the rest of the medical staff were located right above what is essentially an entire hospital wing at the forward section of the Nebulon-C. Strategically placed, the deflector shield generator is located right next to all of these important areas, and these tubes that connect each section are actually the turbo lift, of course the Star Wars equivalent to the elevator. Sticking out of the front of the ship was the forward tractor beam projector, and then this long section connecting the two main parts of the ship was called the engineering boom, which was protected by this makeshift armor plating. The primary communications array stuck out from the bottom of this connecting section, and then we see more pylons sticking out from the engineering section, which contained a rear docking boom and additional docking for specialized ships. At the top of the engineering section was the chief engineer's quarters, as well as the droid maintenance and recharging center. The main engineering room housed these 5 enormous ion drive engines, and right above these is where the hyperdrive was located. Below these engines was the main reactor, which was connected to both gas and liquid storage tanks. Working our way down, we see 4 more auxiliary ion drive engines, and the rest of this spine is filled with all kinds of components to help get rid of static charge, including an integrated static discharge vanes, as well as this trunking section, which helps to recapture some of that static electricity, recycling it, and using it to energize these power cells, which could be used as a last resort source of energy. Though not easy to point out, it's said that the Nebulon-C had in total 10 heavy turbo lasers, 6 point defense turrets, and even 2 proton torpedo launchers. Being the medical frigate, it was important that this ship was well protected, and because many of this ship's systems were automated, and it had tons of droid help, this enormous hospital ship could be run by a crew of only 170. So that's it for the Anodyne, but a really cool behind the scenes fact is that it was aptly named after a medical compound that was used both during the Cold War and the Galactic War, a substance that was used a lot during the time of the Old Republic. And the Anodyne was also the name of an Old Republic ship, which, just like this Resistance ship, was a large hospital frigate that saw service during the Cold War. And because of its healing properties, Anodyne was also sold by Dr. Cornelius Evazan, that guy who likes telling strangers that he doesn't like them. So that's it for the Anodyne, the Nebulon-C medical frigate that was used by the Resistance. If you liked it, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you want to check out our social media, or ways that you can help support this channel, be sure to check out the description down below. If you want to see more, be sure to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell icon so that you get notifications. But more important than all that, remember, Ryan Johnson is actually a huge Knights of the Old Republic fan. And the Force will be with you, always.